Welcome to the new and improved BCMA podcast show, brought to you by our friends with Southern Sound Outfitters. Welcome everyone to the new and improved BCMA show podcast. I'm your host Jacob, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Jake Ward from the Texas country music scene. How's it going, Jake?
Man, it's going great. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, yeah, man. We've been looking forward to this one. Obviously, we are on a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Had a 3-day weekend. How was your Memorial Day weekend, man?
It was good, man. I didn't really do much. Just kind of hung out. We went to the river and just kind of sat there and hung out. It was nice. It was nice to have it. I was actually off this weekend. It was my first weekend not playing a show in a while, so it wasn't bad.
Definitely get that relaxation in, and it seems like everybody.
Yeah, every now and then it's good to have a couple days off on a weekend, hang out with my family and stuff. So,
Awesome.
Thanks for it.
Yes, sir. Well, man, let's start out with a little bio for the listeners that don't know you. Where originally are you from, man?
So I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas, South Texas. Yeah, I was born and raised there. Playing music, and I was always singing in the church as a kid. And then when I was in college, I started a band. We were terrible, so we played a lot. and then kind of, I don't know, I guess towards the end of my college career, I started actually, kind of doing my own thing, the Jake Ward Band, and that's kind of how we've just been releasing music and playing, and pretty much for about 4 years now, which is kind of wild to think about how long it's been, but yeah, man, I'm born and raised South Texas. I live in San Antonio now, but Corpus Christi will always be my home.
And Corpus is definitely a great place to grow up, man. That's an awesome town. You got the fishing and all that right there by the coast, and beautiful town.
Oh yeah, man. You really, I think when you live there, when you grow up there, you kind of, you kind of take it for granted, how great of a place it is and how nice it is to grow up on the water and, all that stuff. So when you move away, you definitely miss just being able to go to the beach. I just miss kind of like just seeing the water. That was my favorite part. It was always nice to look out and see the water.
Yes, sir. Definitely a beautiful place. If nobody's been, we'll go ahead and plug a Texas, Visit Texas promo. Go ahead down there to Corpus, and that's a great summertime vacation spot. It definitely is.
Oh, yeah, man. It's nice. And then, like, Port Aransas, which, right down the street, and Rockport. This is a great place.
So, man, growing up there, who were some of your musical influences as a young man?
Well, I don't know. My family, I kind of grew up with a hodgepodge of different music. My dad he loved Elvis. So I grew up listening to Elvis and the Beach Boys, and then my grandparents loved Johnny Cash. So I listened to all this kind of different types of genres of music, and it kind of just, I guess, made my musical interest very broad. But I would say that I didn't start really songwriting until I heard Wade Bowen. Wade Bowen was kind of the first guy to really kind of get the songwriting juices flowing and kind of get me started on that. And then Randy Rogers. Then I was once I was introduced to that team, it just it was all over.
Yeah, both of those guys are extremely talented artists and songwriters, and big deals out there in the Texas country music scene, and really in the whole country music scene. If you're a true fan, if you don't know about Wade Bowen and Randy Rogers, then you haven't been digging enough.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I remember when I heard "Hand Me My Best," it was just I can't even imagine I can't remember what album that being on, but I was like, man, I want to do that. And then, I think, it was them two, and then when I got into Stoney LaRue too, those are kind of my first three big influences. Yeah, man, they're great, and they're all great guys too, which is really cool. It's nice when you kind of have a hero that you look up to, and you meet them, and they're just as cool as you hope they would do.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, man. And in that whole Texas music scene, man, all those guys just are great individuals, much less great artists.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we've been doing this for a while now, and I can honestly say, and people think I'm lying, but that I've never had a bad experience with anyone. I mean, we've opened up for almost everybody in the scene, and met these guys and talked to them, and they're always really nice and cool, and up on the bus and all that stuff. So it's cool, man. I feel lucky to be in the scene.
Well, man, you're doing pretty well with your current single that put you down tomorrow. I mean, it's up to number. Last I checked yesterday, it was up number 13 on the Texas regional radio charts, number 12 on the TCMA charts, and we had you at number 25 on our chart as a debut on the Top 40 Friday, and I know it's going to jump up. Ours goes off a Spotify stream, so it's a little different, but that's got to be something that's been, has it been kind of unexpected to you, or has it been kind of a reward for the...
Yeah. A little bit of both, you know. I mean, whenever we put out singles, you know, I never really know what to expect. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. But yeah, and especially this song, because it's a little different than what I put out in the past. A little bit more rock and roll, and it's way different than my last single, which was, you know, kind of a little bit more traditional country stuff. I wasn't quite sure how people were going to react to it, but it's been nice, man. It's nice to see people, you know, supporting me, no matter what I'm putting out, because, you know, I've always wanted to be, you know, kind of put out different stuff. I didn't want to be, you know, just one type of artist. And it's nice to have fans and family and friends and people that listen to you kind of no matter what, and they enjoy the songs. And it's been cool, man. It's been really cool. Hopefully I can go number one. That'd be cool.
That's definitely the goal, man, and it's breaching the top 10, so that's something to be all. You know, you got up there at the top 10, just amazing artists, you know, such as Mike Ryan and all those guys, and I just that whole scene, man, is flooded full of talent. So to be up there in that top, breaking that top 10 is something very awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm blessed. I really feel really lucky to be able to, you know, do what I do, and, you know, I have a great band, great family, and really awesome fans. That it's really nice, man. I got a great team too, and I'm lucky. And then hopefully I can just keep putting out songs and people keep listening to them.
Well, definitely think you don't have to worry about that, my man. Is you're very talented, man, and you're making your way known in that scene, and really hopefully all over. It can be, you know, a lot of those Texas guys have finally made it over to the Nashville scene, and just much deserved, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, man. I mean, you see guys like Cody Johnson. I mean, you know, he's just absolutely incredible, and, you know, Parker McCollum, all those guys that are, you know, really blown up all over the place. Co Wetzel. I mean, it's nice to see these guys too. That, you know, they all have pretty different genres, but I think they all represent Texas really well, and you know, not just Texas, but the whole scene, and just what, you know, there's so many different. There's room for so much different music, I guess. You know, it's great to see it.
And how can you explain for maybe some of the listeners that don't really know much about the Texas music scene, explain a little bit more how it's such a family type atmosphere between artists, and, like you said, the differential of musicians and types of music that they put out?
You know, it's really interesting, because, I mean, I can't really say what it's like in other scenes, but I have gone to Nashville, and I have, you know, I've been a lot of places, and there's some incredible artists in Nashville, and, you know, LA, and, you know, and there's some really great people too. But something about Texas, man, it's just the scene it really is kind of like a big family. Like everyone's always trying to help each other out. Everyone's always trying to, you know, like, I can text, you know, someone and ask if we can open up the show. It's a big show, and they'll do everything they can to help us out. It's nice, man, and I'm like I said, I'm really lucky to be in a scene like this, and have such good experiences, because I know people that, are trying to make it aren't always that lucky. So it's definitely nice.
You also mentioned that you've got to open for some great acts out of the Lone Star State. What was your personal, I guess, best experience just opening for a particular artist out there and getting a connection with that guy or girl?
I'd say my best experience probably when we opened up for we did a show a year or two ago where we opened up for Randy Rogers, and I remember I looked over in the middle of the show, and he was standing there watching our set, and I'd never met him before, and he was one of my idols, and I looked over, and he was standing over at the side of the stage, just kind of listening, and then we went back on his bus after, just hung out, and got to talk to him. It was just really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, that's got to be one of those surreal moments where you meet one of your idols, and then all of a sudden you realize that you're in the same industry as them, and they're just digging your own music.
Yeah, man, it's really cool. I mean, it's everyone always says, or what's the saying? It's like, work hard enough that your idols become your rivals, and it's interesting to be kind of in that scene and be competing with them, because everyone is always competing in the scene, but it's like a friendly competition, I mean, because everyone's always trying to be at top, we were talking about earlier, going number one and stuff, but everyone's supportive, man. Every time I have a new single out, I'm always getting texts from people that they love the song and they'll share and stuff. So I really it's really cool to be around it, and I've never really thought I would. So.
Man, one of the best quotes I can remember to express what you're talking about was an interview I did with Randall King, and I remember asking him about his connections and obviously playing around with so many greats such as Kyle Park, and Randall also mentioned playing around with Cody Johnson and Josh Ward and all these guys, and I kind of mentioned about a competition, and he quickly shut it down and was like, man, I don't see these guys as my competition. I see them as family. Like, we all like to support each other. And that right there just struck me like, wow, this is a different type of atmosphere in this state. And it's something that I really wish all music would be like, all over.
Yeah. And I think Randall's he's a good example of, he's killing it, I mean, he's just absolutely killing it. And, I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean, there's a reason why, guys like him, I mean, he's such a good guy. He's, when he works so hard. And, I mean, that quote right there is an example of, why he's doing so well. Because, I mean, he first of all, he's extremely talented, and and he's just a good person. And I think a lot of the scene of the guys that make it, they're just good people, man. And it's so hard to make it in any business, but, in the music business, it's so hard to make it on your own. I mean, you can't make it on your own. And you need support. And I think people that are successful, like the bigger artists, they all understand that. So they support people, and it's a really good vibe all the time, all around, man.
Yeah, it goes back to my mom and dad always telling me, surround yourself with good people and good things will happen. Well, that's definitely what's going on down there.
Yeah, man, and it's cool to see guys like it's the transition is really you have the older guys, the guys that have kind of started all, Pat Green, Robert O'Keen, all those guys, and they're still around, and then you kind of see the young guys, like Parker and Randall and and those guys coming up, and every time you talk to them, the older guys are always like, oh man, they're great dudes, talented. There's no bitterness, it's all just
Yep.
Keep saying it, but it's a family atmosphere, man.
And I'll even throw in a younger generation coming out with Kobe Coopers and Dylan Willers and Chris Colstons. Yeah. Even those young guys are the same, in the same, born and bred in the same atmosphere, man.
Yeah, man. It's great to see all the talent coming out. It's I mean, Texas. It's not just Texas. It's everywhere. It's places all around, and there's just so much talent out there that it's nice to see it all, come to the top.
Definitely agree. As a music fan at heart, first and foremost, I love seeing it, and I love seeing it come from genuinely good people. And like you mentioned, it's all over. It's Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. North Carolina right now is just producing superstars. Left and right, and it goes all the way up across the nation, and that's awesome to see.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's seriously just so much talent out there. I mean, it's just, and people are, luckily with the internet and social media and all that stuff, it's you can, we have ways of getting to people that that we normally wouldn't in Spotify and all that. So it's a good era we're living in for musicians, that's for sure.
Now let's talk about the talent of Jake Ward. Now you have this new single out, "Put You Down Tomorrow." We have it here with us, and I want to let you introduce it. We'll play it, and then come back and talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is my new single, "Put You Down Tomorrow."
Put You Down Tomorrow, the latest single from Jake Ward. We are here talking with him today. Jake, what a great song. Like I mentioned, it's about breaking the top 10 in Texas radio. Give us a little background on it, man. How it came about, the writing, and so forth.
So I wrote that song with my guitar player, Paul Telchik, and my best friend, one of my best friends, Jacob Wigdorsky. We were sitting around one night and we were talking about one of our buddies, and he was going through this thing where he would, the girl he was, I guess like in love with, or he thought he was. She would call him, just random times, but then, that he'd go and hang out with her, do whatever they did. And then he wouldn't hear back from her for, weeks. And then he'd be like, oh, well, I'm over it. I'm done. And then, then she'd call him again, and then he'd go back to it, So I was like, man, we got to write a song about it. He's like an alcoholic, man. He can't quit. And we came up with that. I'll pick you up tonight, and then I'm going to put you down tomorrow. And it just worked, It turned into a rock and roll, big rock. I don't know if that was actually really planned, it just kind of happened like that. And it turned out to be a real fun song. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a single or not, but we ended up playing it out a lot. And people always, they come up to us after the show, the merch table, will be like, oh, what was that one song? What was the song? Or you can kind of tell when you're on stage who's liking the song and who's not, or which songs they're liking and which ones are not. So I try to gauge the audience reaction whenever I take a new single. And yeah, that one, man, it just kind of took off, and it's been nice. People seem to really enjoy it, seeing kind of a different side of me and my music.
And we mentioned before how, we're hoping it hits #1, and I think it has the potential to, just because of the song itself. The lyrics are so beautifully written and relatable to. But not only that, but the fact that you took a sad song, sad lyrics, and turned it into an upbeat type song. So
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I like to do that with songs. Those are always my favorite songs that I listen to, are like a really happy song that sounds melancholy and all that stuff. So I appreciate you saying that.
Well, man, it definitely is the right strategy. It seems like these days to have that type of song. You see it all over country music with taking a sad thing and turning it into kind of a jam, man. And don't get me wrong, we all love those slow, sad songs. Late nights, singing that, listening to some sad songs and like the greats, but now to be able to rock out to a sad song and still relate to it is something that I think it's a positive thing that somebody going through that can listen to that, rock out to it, and kind of get over that hump.
Yeah, man, definitely. And that's the plan, man. I mean, that's the idea every time you write a song, is to have to get that reaction from people. So that's always what I'm trying to go for. I mean, every songwriter is. So it's nice to hear people say that. Nice to see the song actually meant something to somebody, because you never know when you write a song. I've written some songs where I love, and then we play it, and everyone just kind of yawns. And I've written songs where I'm like, oh, no one's ever gonna like this one. And it turns out that people love it, so I never really know what I'm doing again.
Well, man, is this gonna be a song coming out on a EP or a new album coming up?
Yeah, we got an album coming out in July. Looking like a July 26th release date. And yeah, it's going to be called Back on Solid Ground. It's a bunch of songs that I've written with over a couple of years, and it's I'm excited about it. It's got a lot of really cool stuff on there, so I think it's going to be really cool.
Well, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to hear that one, because
yeah, I'll send it to you as soon as it's ready. We're like finally about to be done. It's been a long process.
Yeah, it definitely takes a process for, people listening to music, as a fan, don't really see the process it takes to put these albums together and all the work it takes. So, definitely it's a process, man, and the hard work and everything. For artists such as yourself, it usually pays off in dividends, and I believe this will.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we mentioned earlier too about some of the shows you've played with, some of your mentors, some of your idols. What is one of your favorite parts of playing live out on the road?
Man, it's interesting, because I've done, I'm at the stage of my career where we'll play a really big show, and then we'll play, for the bartenders. So it's because you play all over the place, and the hard truth of it is you got to make fans, and you haven't been before, So there's nothing quite like it, It's like you get on stage playing your own songs and getting people the reaction out of it, and seeing how if they dance, if they bob their head, and it's such an interesting and cool feel. It's always scary, even if if you're playing for 5 people, it's just as scary for me as playing for 4,000 or whatever. But you always get that adrenaline rush that I love.
Well, man, you got some great. Summer's about to kick off, obviously, and that's tour time. Everybody's out and about. The weather's hot and pretty, and So I know you got some upcoming shows. The 31st of May, Friday 31st, you'll be playing at Southern Junction in Rose City, and a few more. But I look down the list here, and I see June 20th. Thursday, you'll be back home in Corpus Christi, Texas at the Brewster Street House. What is it like playing a show back home? Is it just a little different than the rest?
It's Corpus has always been so good to me in my career, and that's where I was first on the radio and where I first played, and that's kind of where we cut our teeth. And we have a lot of friends down there, and it's always nice to go home, and it always, especially when you play a show and people actually show up, and you can kind of it brings back all the memories and all that stuff. It's always great to go home. I mean, I think everyone feels that way, just going home and then getting to play a show and have people actually spend their hard-earned money to come, to see me play. It's always a special thing.
For sure, man. And for any other tour dates for the listeners or any kind of information, news, anything, go to Jake's website. It's jakewardmusic.com.
Yeah.
jakewardmusic.com. You can find all the tour dates. You can listen to his music on Spotify through the links. You can get it however you get your music. So would you say that's the best way to get the info on yourself?
jakewardmusic.com. It's got links to all of our stuff, and we'd love to come see you at a show and let me know you heard about me on the podcast. That'd be great.
Well, there you go. You heard it here, and I'm also social media. I mean, you got links to that on your website. How? Yeah. I'm gonna bring up a question. Here. How did you best describe how social media now is able to propel an artist that's independent, whereas, say, 15 years ago, it was not a factor?
Man, it's a complete game changer. I mean, social media, and then something that I need to get better at, and it's like a constant learning experience. But man, I mean, it's people can do now with social media. I mean, you can sell out shows from having a huge Twitter following, and that's actually a lot harder than what people think. I think when you see like Parker McCollum and Co Wessel having those huge followings, I mean that's hard to do. It's really hard to get that, and but man, it's really, really, really a game changer. I mean, having a good Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, it really gets you connected with the fans, and they feel like they know you, and it's just a great tool.
I would agree, man, and even little bitty podcast shows such as my own, is able to help promote yourself music to people that might not even be able to listen to you. Maybe they're far up north, but the internet and social media has been able to help artists, help and hurt if you don't do it correctly. But it definitely, to me, is a game changer. And one of my biggest tools I use for BCMA to kind of help push and help these artists out, such as yourself, is just with our social media alone.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like you said, it can help and it can also hurt. But I mean, it's just such an incredible tool for people trying to make it in any sort of media or entertainment. You need it, and I mean, that's how you get it out to people. And we're lucky to live in this time. You know, it's that we can actually do this stuff on our own.
Yes, sir, and it has paid dividends for a lot of artists, and I think once this song hits #1, you'll hear from me first, and I'll be there to congratulate you, man, and just get ready for that album to drop. So
yeah, I'll send it to you as soon as we get it ready, man. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for people to hear it.
Well, man, we very much appreciate your time to be on the show with us. You're always welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Always welcome back, man. And also have to thank, of course, a few of the people and organizations that helped me do this. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Miss Jennifer with Generate Promotions, who helped me line this up with Jake, and she does a great job with all of her artists.
Oh, yeah, she's the best.
And of course, Southern Sound Outfitters have been with us since day one. A great organization. They promote a lot of artists for being an apparel company. And also Pro Country Blog, and Justin, my buddy over there, he's doing good things for artists such as, he's sharing the same dream as what we're doing here at BCMA, and that's just getting good music out to the public that's just thirsty for that good stuff that ain't playing on mainstream. And you know, we have, of course, a Texas Country Music Association, like we mentioned earlier, with their chart, Miss Linda and them, that we are proud members of that organization, even being from Louisiana down here. They do great, I think, a great organization, great people that run that, and that really has been doing great things for the Texas country music scene. And also our Louisiana, got to shout out our Louisiana people, and that's for, my buddy Corey with Swamp Assassin Gear. I know it's all about hunting and fishing and cutting up with those guys, but he also has a lot of good friends in the music industry, big names, and he's been a great supporter and a great friend of mine, and he definitely gets a shout out on this show for that. And just all around, I mean, we got a bunch more, but I'm not gonna push and go on and on here. But man, we really do appreciate Jake for being on the show. And you can go check his website out again, jakewardmusic.com, and buy some music from him, get some merch, and support independent artists. That's all I can preach more and more and more.
Well, thank you. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. I'd love to come back.
Well, brother, you're always welcome back. Hopefully whenever the album drops, we can bring you back on and talk more about it and get that out there. And y'all also be sure to listen to the Top 40 Spotify, the BCMA Top 40 Spotify playlist, that really, the numbers and streams go up and down by you guys. And Jake's on there at 25. I have a feeling it will be jumping a few spots up this coming week. So be sure to continue to listen to that, and also continue to support these artists, and also continue to help us out. The more people we have listening, and the more people we have liking our pages and stuff, is the more we can get out for these artists.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the BCMA Show podcast. Available on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio app, and our YouTube page. For more information, be sure and check out our website, BayouCountryMusic.com.